This is the Strength Matters podcast. If you're new to the show, great to have you here. Please make sure to subscribe and review. That way we can reach more people, push the Strength Matters podcast back up to the top of the charts, which we were there many, many moons ago, probably in around its first iteration of this podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed, though, and reviewed, we'd highly appreciate it if you could. James Breeze, decorated in Welsh stuff. How are you doing?
Exactly. Well, I'm just promoting my heritage. That's all I'm doing.
Well, they've changed the name of the Brecon Beacons, haven't they? They've changed. Well, actually, no, they haven't changed the name of the Brecon Beacons because I assume it's always had its Welsh name, right?
Exactly.
They're now just referring to it by its Welsh name.
Do you want to have a go at pronouncing that?
I don't know what it is, so you say it first, and then I'll give it a go.
Banau Brycheiniog.
Banau Brycheiniog.
There you go. Pretty close.
Yeah, not bad. That wasn't even rehearsed.
I'll give you that. No, not at all. So I am covered in Welsh. I've got the Morgan cap on for those watching us on YouTube. You can
I'm
now
so
see
disappointed that you've actually left
Welshness.
the label on the cap. It's just.
I know.
How old are you?
Cool kid, but 5. 5. There you go. But I'm more excited about my mug.
Today, that's nice. Wrexham mug. I'm disappointed you haven't got a Wrexham shirt on.
Wrexham mug.
Can you not?
You can't buy them anywhere
Wrexham,
for love nor money.
Favourite second club now, including mine as well. So,
It's hilarious. Like I was obviously driving back from yours the other day. Like to go past that to my parents, I drive right past the racecourse, and I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna pop in there today to see what happens. So I did. I popped in to the shop. It's like 4:45. They're just about closing, and two really cool things happened actually. There was a guy there cycling to every football ground in the UK to raise money for Mind.
I think I've seen him on Twitter.
I can't remember his name. I do apologise.
Yeah.
Could well be, but he was raising money for Mind. I think his partner or wife died because of it, and then so I gave him £5. My only £5 I had in my pocket at the time. Not that I often carry cash with him. And then obviously I went to the shop and started speaking to the people in the shop, and they said it was hilarious because I'd just gone in there after a busloads of Americans had gone in. The series, but anyway, it's the end of the season now. They won last night. Listening to on the way round as well.
Saturday, they are
so close now
promoted as winners of the National League. So
exactly.
Come on, Wrexham. I think we all want it to happen.
Yeah.
Also, today is
exactly.
Well, that is true.
As a Welsh company.
Yes, indeed.
It's important.
I'll be an honorary Welshman. How about that? But also, today is all about mugs. Now we're on YouTube. Everyone can see the coveted Strength Matters mug.
Yes.
Coffee tastes great out of this thing. Perfect size.
YouTube now. I can't believe we've not done it for ages. Exactly.
Exactly. So if you want a mug,
and our Inner Circle members,
become an Inner Circle member or
our clients. Exactly.
No.
How are you feeling?
I wasn't 100% when we went in. I'm not
weekend?
100% now, and kids were up stupid early this morning, so I've not caught up on any sleep. I think you can see it in my eyes. I look tired. I think so. Apologies to everyone watching on YouTube. Dad of 2 young kids. Lots of travelling.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Well, yeah. Lots of travelling, but unfortunately I've had 2 nights of 8.5 hours sleep each night just to rub it in. If that's okay.
It was something you said on the. It was something you said on the course. Actually, when we were talking about. I think we were talking about WWS and sleep, and you were talking about having been ill. It was like, God, yeah. And then I had 11 hours sleep. I was like, well, you clearly don't have any kids, then, do you? Yeah.
No, that was the breathing stuff we talked about. I remember that bit, but it's so true. But it's good. Like I'm back in Cardiff finally. Like I literally, that's the hardest bit of the whole weekend. So obviously, for those who don't know, we're talking about the HCP. We did a live event on the weekend to launch the whole hybrid coaching program, our brand new online course it's now out. But it was just like there to test out all the new stuff out, really, wasn't it?
There may be a lot of
does
people.
The new stuff work? How does it all relate
coaches,
to it?
No doubt, trainers listening to this who have no idea what the HCP, the hybrid coaching program, is. Can you give a brief outline overview of what it is and sort of what we were hoping to achieve in Chelmsford on the weekend? What it was all about?
It was all about helping experience. That's the big thing here. It's all about helping experienced coaches have the systems, tools, and resources to help them launch, grow, and scale a hybrid coaching business. Now, it's really important. A lot of people talk about in-person training only, online training only. They're missing the bigger picture of how to combine everything so it's just training. That's the most important thing. It's just all about training. So what we've come up with and what we've focused on the last 6 years is developing the system of training where it is a hybrid model. It's always designed and has been for a hybrid model, but now we have the systems, tools, and resources to help share this with other coaches to help them grow their business too. And it's not all about like the business stuff. I'm saying this because you need systems to have the training structures in place before you can scale and launch it. And most trainers and coaches don't have that. They don't have systems to work towards. No. So that was the thing, showcasing what we use behind the scenes.
We've spent the last 6 years building all this stuff behind the scenes.
We built this for ourselves in-house
systems for everything
to make our life a lot easier.
So we can have a smoother business, and have more time, more freedom, more flexibility, as you say.
Basically, it is, and it's those are the key words. So a lot of trainers, particularly experienced coaches, feel like more tired and trapped within their business as they want to grow it and scale it. They got to the point where they need to move it further forwards. So they struggle for time, and it's helping them have the freedom and flexibility to scale their businesses accordingly. But that comes down to systems of training. But also not listening to this bullshit guys who focus on let's live your best life in Bali and sell your soul to the devil and do all that crap. No, we're all genuine coaches who want to help people and put people at the forefront of it. So again, we run a hybrid model. Online coaching is predominantly Strength Matters because that's what we do. But we run Cricket Matters too as well, which is our hybrid model where we're coaching people in person and online and scaling that around the world too. So it's showcasing all this stuff and how it all blends together. So that was the weekend. And it was good to get everyone back together, really. It was nice to have some of the old gang who've done our courses in the past back present, lots of new faces too, as we shared our system.
I think that's good for us to know.
Great insight for us
made
what
changes
works and what
Munich
didn't
and all
work.
the changes
and it was definitely an improvement, I think
they went down really well,
for sure. I think so too. From the feedback we had in-house and stuff, and then shout out to Jürgen, Sasky, Jerome, and Dennis who came there. Even bigger shout out to Dennis who had his handy, his German word for mobile phone, stolen on his day in London.
He's now got another
standing
phone,
at the crossroads looking at the Google
asking
Maps.
for pictures.
And 2 kids on the scooter with masks on come and swiped it out of his hand and went away with it. So all happening. Yeah, he did. He did the same thing as well, asking for like the police numbers so you can get the report. But it was just nice. But the idea for this event came from Jimmy Carr, who's a famous British comedian, who went back in the late 2000s when I was living in London. I remember him coming into a pub in Islington and asking to test out a bunch of new jokes, like just complete impromptu, just like wanted to see what worked and what didn't work. And I remember that's a really good concept and idea, and I've used it ever since when I'm delivering new material to teach. I want to test some of this stuff out. So when I was going to New York with some of the guys at Equinox, I'd go and do like a 1-hour workshop, test some new stuff with those guys, with their trainers to see if that worked and came across well. If it didn't, I'd bin it. If it did, great, we'd carry on moving it forwards. And it was the same with this event because the hybrid coaching program was going to be all online modular based. Yeah. Because that's a really important thing. It's like an ongoing self-learning environment because there's so much concepts behind it. However, what we've learned from the weekend is everyone loves meeting up in person. Yeah. So from the interaction we got in the group and the poll within the group, this may come back to being an annual event where we get everyone together for updates,
as you say,
and
if you were
refreshers and learning new stuff and
trainer,
putting
if
it all
you're
together
working
to
on
work in
your
their
own,
business.
a gym, or you don't work in a gym or have a gym setting as a gym owner, you're working on your own all the time. So it's nice to don't have that connection. It's nice to catch up with people and, as you say, see some old faces, some new faces. It was great. But what, in terms of how the workshop went, what you feel the participants took away from it, what would you say were the biggest?
Yeah, it was good
takeaways and what had the biggest impact on them? I think maybe slightly surprising as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So the first morning we did something very different. We spoke about business a lot, but not in terms of business and like lead marketing or all that crap that everyone else talks about. Mm-hmm. It was more about getting your customer avatar and your message right and understanding who your business is for. Because without that, you're not going to be able to empathize with your clients.
Yeah.
And that's the important. It's not just about attracting the right people coming to you. It's about empathizing with them and knowing where people are in their journey. So I think we talked about the customer avatar and being clear on how to communicate that across with people, across all your marketing and also your conversations, but also the client life cycle journey of where do clients fit in the system. And we get it quite a lot, where some people want to come and train with us, but they know nothing about us. And we know when they come into our system of training, they know nothing about us, it's a nightmare to deal with them in the nicest possible way. Whereas people who've read about us, who've engaged with us, and they're like connect with us on so many different levels, from the podcast or from the books, the magazines, everything here, and they read the stuff we talk about, they get what we're trying to do. And that's the key thing here, is like getting your message right and knowing where on the customer life cycle journey. So I think that was a huge thing. Our pricing model, and I think we'll save this for another episode. I think we'll happily discuss this on another episode, what our pricing model is and how we distinguish between the three levels and how it's just all training, really. That was good. And then the mini assessments, I think that was a big one as well, is seeing the mini assessments come into place, because we have no assessments, mini assessments, full assessments based on where they're at in the customer lifecycle journey, and communicating that across, I think, was the key things for me in seeing them work across the board and the systems of delivering it. Now, everyone took different things away from it, I think. It was cool, the hashtag one thing we do all the time after every workshop. Everyone had their own little things.
Stuff we've put in
it's
the
cool
workshop,
to see everyone working on this now in the group and in the school, in the inner circle group.
Getting to discuss,
where
hold each other
posting,
accountable,
sharing, and holding each other
really
accountable.
Well,
that's the cool stuff at the moment, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think so. Yeah, too. So it was good. I think so. Like, those are some of the big takeaways. Is that, and it's also, I think, emphasising the point that when people come to these workshops, I want them knowing the system already, which is where the online modular courses come into play. So if everyone's talking the same language already, we can go and do these updates and refreshers and update. It's like a system update, like an Apple software update, basically. So think of it like that. So we're updating to like iOS 4.1.0 or whatever it is. Like that's the type of thing we want to try and do with it. So that's a big takeaway, and having that as a connection, and also just the connections. Most of the best conversations happen away from the learning environment. They happen over beers,
the HCP
on the Friday afternoon, or they happen over a few drinks and some food in the evenings too. Yeah, it was awesome. It was fun.
In what people I think took away from the weekend, actually, in terms of like the client avatar and the customer lifecycle journey, it surprised me how much of an impact that did have, and how few of them actually had that whole thing nailed down, and they were like, taking a hell of a lot away from that. Forget the assessment system, which is also, obviously everyone enjoyed that as well, but even just that, it surprised me how people didn't have their client avatars completely nailed down. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's not something we talk about. We talk about the T-shaped coach. That's the left-hand side of the building. And in all fairness, we've only really mastered it in the last 12 months too, and it's taken us a long time to get to it. So it helped with us splitting the company up in two. So we now, when we're talking about Strength Matters, our key thing is we help experienced coaches. That's experienced coaches with 5+ years service launch, grow, and scale a hybrid coaching business. That's our message here. Whereas in Cricket Matters, we help cricketers train smarter and perform better. We want to help them take more wickets, score more runs, and feel like a pro. It's like distinctive messaging, isn't it? It's very clear to them what we're trying to attract and how to help people. So but it's sometimes you get too wishy-washy, and it's being able to succinctly elaborate that and be able to express that to people around you, I think. Because there's a lot of people now saying, "Oh yeah, I do this, I do that." It's just
Were you surprised by anything over the weekend?
Specific target
how
market
things were
audience.
received,
our audience
or
here
what,
now for Strength Matters
any
is
takeaways
experienced
from you
coaches
from the weekend?
and enthusiastic fitness, people who love just like fitness and want to learn what the coaches do, but don't necessarily want to become a coach themselves. Takeaways. I'd think, do you know what? I was surprised.
Yeah.
Again, we showed an example of
only
the
sort of introduced in the last 12 months ourselves.
When we did our correction
and again,
algorithms,
although all these people are experienced trainers,
the assessment system, we have a
that was
correction
new
algorithm
to the
where we go.
majority of people.
So people are, I think, surprised at how the shoulders play such an impact on the lower part of the body. So that was a big takeaway. It's like, oh crap, not many people know that. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. So just the simplicity, but yeah, it was just mostly I think the messaging and the avatar and understanding that you've got to scale up your client's education as well as
we've had people
in your services. That's the key
trying
thing
it for
here.
the weekend.
Because not everyone's ready for high level.
Yeah, it's harder than it sounds.
Or
much
doing
harder
all
than
the
it
stuff
sounds.
yet. They got to understand the basics and learn
that.
right to get there. So he's combined the two on the customer lifecycle journey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I suppose it's useful for the guys as well. We went through the assessments to see where they're weaker and where there's certain points. A lot of people had external hip rotation issues, which was interesting because they hadn't done that before. That type of self-testing before. But anyway. But that also links to the shoulders as well, so it's
absolutely.
multiple.
So obviously this was a test event.
So there's lots of things happening
before we launched.
Maybe I think it'd be cool to get some of the guys on the podcast to talk about it actually in the future to share what their thoughts are and how they've implemented since it. I think so. I think that'd be pretty cool. Actually, we'll do that. We'll make a list of people. Where are you going to go? Yeah, so basically that was like a test one-off event that we wanted to do to see how this all goes. So on the 2nd of May, we're starting to unveil the modules and the courses. So we're going to start off with very much about what is hybrid coaching, getting into the customer avatar, the client canvas as we call it as well, working out what your messaging is so you can communicate and empathize better with clients, and then understanding in depth the client lifecycle journey, because that's the key starting point for moving on to the training system, because once you know this, you can then move into the training system, and then we can optimize everything else around what we're doing on the idea of the T-shaped coach, which I think with the last episode we did, I think we spoke about T-shaped coach. So it's something to bear in mind. So listen to the top banner. We want to focus on the general side of things of business and fitness and combine it all into one, and then we can specialize down the middle after that. So lots of work. I think it's going to take us about 2 years in all to put it all together. We do want to make this the most comprehensive fitness course on the planet out there. That's our big, hairy, ambitious goal. And if I want to say it, I'll say it now. It's our secret desire behind the scenes here. Our big, hairy, ambitious goal
I think
as
that impresses few people how client-centric
is that we'd like to revolutionise personal training in the business. I think there's a chance
stuff that was nice
to call it personal training 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it. I think there's a difference in a different way of looking at things.
If there are any experienced coaches out there listening and they are interested to find out a little bit more about the HCP, can you give them the info where to go?
Yeah, sure. Just go to strengthmatters.com, and then you'll see at the top of the link, there'll be a link to certifications. You can find all the information out there. We've recorded a couple of videos as well from the weekend.
You get a mug.
We've done a little MTV crib style with James St. Pierre.
Not a Wrexham
at his
one,
place
Strength
in
Matters
Essex.
one.
That'd be pretty cool. And obviously we've done the weekend as well to see
out of focus there.
behind the scenes look of what was going on and what was happening the weekend. So,
that's
again,
all it is
thank
there.
you
to everyone who attended
the
over the weekend.
Well, if you guys want to come be part of the inner circle, strengthmatters.com/inner circle,
really
you get a full taster of what it really is like without investment.
Go to strengthmatters.com if you want to find out more about it and join the inner circle. James, anything you want to add before we sign off this little podcast?
It's too fancy. It's too fancy.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Exactly.
Indeed, launching on May the 2nd. Not much time to go. Oh, by the way, just before we do sign off, Elizabeth is annoyed that he didn't take the envelopes.
Lots of exciting things happening this week. I'm on the FMS podcast.
I was in so much trouble.
So that's something to look forward to. We've got some great guests lined up to come join us too.
I forgot.
Lots of things happening in the world of Strength Matters.
Cool guests, I'm passing on the
videos.
This is how it
Obviously,
works.
the HCP, I've got to start really nailing that down in the next week or so too.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening.
Exactly.
Until next time.